James Walker had always been a man of routine. His life in Chicago was orderly and predictable. As a history professor at the University of Chicago, his days were filled with lectures, research, and the occasional faculty meeting. He found solace in the familiarity of his schedule, and the thought of change unsettled him. However, everything changed one crisp autumn morning when he met Emma Reynolds. Emma was a newcomer to the city, a free-spirited artist who had recently moved from a small town in Maine. She was drawn to Chicago's vibrant art scene, hoping to find inspiration for her work. Her eyes sparkled with excitement and curiosity as she explored her new surroundings. James first saw her at a local coffee shop near the university. The shop was a cozy place with worn-out wooden furniture and the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee. It was James's favorite spot to grade papers and prepare for his classes. Emma stood out immediately. Her red hair cascaded in loose waves down her back, and she wore a bright yellow scarf that seemed to radiate warmth. James couldn't help but notice her as she approached the counter, her smile lighting up the room. As fate would have it, there was only one available seat in the crowded coffee shop, and it was at James's table. Emma hesitated for a moment before asking, "Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here?" James looked up from his laptop, slightly taken aback. "Oh, not at all. Please, have a seat." "Thank you," Emma said, her smile widening. "I'm Emma, by the way." "James," he replied, extending his hand. They shook hands, and a spark of connection passed between them. Over the next few weeks, James and Emma's paths continued to cross at the coffee shop. They exchanged pleasantries and gradually started talking about their lives. Emma shared stories of her artistic journey, her struggles, and her dreams. James, in turn, spoke about his love for history and his passion for teaching. Despite their differences, they found common ground in their conversations. James was captivated by Emma's zest for life, her ability to find beauty in the mundane, and her unwavering optimism. Emma admired James's intellect, his dedication to his students, and the depth of his knowledge. Their friendship blossomed, and James found himself looking forward to their daily encounters. He began to feel a sense of longing, a desire to be closer to Emma, to understand her on a deeper level. But he was cautious, unsure if she felt the same way. As the days turned into weeks, James and Emma spent more time together outside of the coffee shop. They visited art galleries, attended lectures, and explored the city. James introduced Emma to the historical landmarks of Chicago, while Emma took James to hidden art studios and vibrant street fairs. One chilly evening, they found themselves walking along the shores of Lake Michigan. The wind was brisk, and the waves crashed against the rocks, creating a soothing rhythm. They sat on a bench, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. "Chicago is beautiful," Emma said, her voice soft, "but it can be overwhelming at times." James nodded. "It takes some getting used to, but there's something magical about it, don't you think?" Emma smiled, her eyes reflecting the colors of the sunset. "Yes, there is. I feel like I found a piece of myself here." James looked at her, his heart aching with unspoken words. "Emma, I'm glad we met. You've brought so much light into my life." Emma turned to him, her expression sincere. "And you've been a wonderful friend, James. I feel like I can be myself around you." Friend. The word echoed in James's mind, a bittersweet reminder of the boundaries between them. He wanted to tell her how he truly felt, but fear held him back. What if she didn't feel the same way? What if he ruined their friendship? As they continued to watch the sunset, James made a silent promise to himself. He would cherish their time together, no matter what. Even if his feelings remained unrequited, he would be grateful for the moments they shared. Winter arrived, blanketing Chicago in a layer of snow. The city transformed into a winter wonderland, with holiday lights twinkling in the streets and the scent of pine in the air. James and Emma continued to spend time together, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. One evening, they attended a holiday party hosted by one of James's colleagues. The house was filled with laughter, music, and the warmth of good company. Emma looked stunning in a deep green dress that complemented her fiery hair, and James couldn't take his eyes off her. As the night wore on, they found themselves standing on the balcony, away from the noise and commotion. The city lights glittered below, and snowflakes gently fell around them. "James," Emma began, her voice hesitant, "there's something I've been wanting to tell you." James's heart raced. Could this be the moment he had been waiting for? He looked at her, urging her to continue. "I've really enjoyed our time together," Emma said, her eyes searching his. "You've become very important to me." James felt a surge of hope. "You mean a lot to me too, Emma." She took a deep breath. "I've been thinking a lot about my future, my art, and where I want to be. And I've realized that I need to focus on my work right now. I need to find myself and my place in this world." James's heart sank. He forced a smile, masking his disappointment. "I understand, Emma. Your art is your passion, and you should follow it." Emma reached out and squeezed his hand. "Thank you for understanding. I hope we can always be friends, no matter what." "Of course," James replied, his voice steady despite the turmoil inside him. "I'll always be here for you." As they stood on the balcony, the unspoken feelings between them lingered in the cold night air. James knew that his love for Emma would remain unanswered, but he also knew that he couldn't let go of the bond they shared. Spring arrived, bringing with it a sense of renewal and change. Emma's art began to flourish, and she received several opportunities to showcase her work in galleries across the city. James continued to support her, attending every exhibition and cheering her on from the sidelines. One evening, after a successful gallery opening, they went for a walk along the river. The city was alive with the sounds of people and music, and the scent of blooming flowers filled the air. "Emma, your work is incredible," James said, admiration in his voice. "I'm so proud of you." Emma smiled, her eyes glowing with gratitude. "Thank you, James. I couldn't have done it without your support." They walked in comfortable silence, the night enveloping them in its embrace. Despite the pain of unrequited love, James cherished these moments, knowing that Emma's happiness was worth more than his own. As they reached a bridge, Emma stopped and turned to him. "James, I've been offered a residency in Paris. It's a dream come true for me, but it means I'll be leaving Chicago for a while." James felt a pang of sadness, but he forced himself to smile. "That's amazing, Emma. Paris is the perfect place for an artist like you." Emma's eyes shimmered with tears. "I'll miss you, James. You've become such an important part of my life." "I'll miss you too," James replied, his voice filled with sincerity. "But this is your dream, and you have to pursue it." They hugged, the embrace filled with unspoken emotions. James knew that this was goodbye, but he also knew that their bond would remain, no matter the distance. Emma left for Paris, and James's life returned to its familiar routine. The coffee shop felt empty without her presence, and the city seemed a little less bright. They kept in touch through emails and occasional phone calls, sharing updates about their lives and work. James found solace in his teaching, pouring his energy into his students and research. He attended conferences and published papers, gaining recognition in his field. But no matter how busy he was, a part of him always longed for Emma. One evening, he received an email from her. She wrote about her experiences in Paris, the beauty of the city, and the inspiration she found in its streets. She also shared a piece of her artwork, a painting that captured the essence of their time together. James stared at the painting, his heart aching with a mix of emotions. He replied, expressing his admiration for her work and his longing to see her again. As the months passed, their correspondence became less frequent. Emma's career flourished, and she became increasingly absorbed in her work. James understood, but it didn't lessen the pain of her absence. One summer, Emma returned to Chicago for a brief visit. They met at their favorite coffee shop, and it felt as if no time had passed. They talked and laughed, reliving old memories and creating new ones. "Paris has changed me," Emma said, her eyes reflecting a sense of wonder. "I've grown so much as an artist and as a person." James smiled, his heart swelling with pride. "I'm so happy for you, Emma. You've achieved so much." As they parted ways, James felt a sense of closure. He knew that his love for Emma would always remain a part of him, but he also knew that he had to let her go. Time passed, and James continued to build a life that he loved. He dated occasionally, but none of the relationships felt as profound as his connection with Emma. He focused on his career, his students, and his passions, finding fulfillment in the life he had cultivated. Years passed, and James received an invitation to an art exhibition in New York. The artist was none other than Emma Reynolds, now a renowned name in the art world. He decided to attend, curious to see her work and reconnect. The gallery was filled with people, all admiring Emma's paintings. James wandered through the exhibits, marveling at the depth and emotion in her work. He spotted Emma across the room, surrounded by admirers. Their eyes met, and Emma's face lit up with a smile. She excused herself from the crowd and made her way to James. "James, it's so good to see you," she said, her voice filled with genuine warmth. "It's great to see you too, Emma. Your work is incredible," James replied, his admiration evident. They caught up, sharing stories of their lives and accomplishments. Emma introduced James to her fiancé, a fellow artist she had met in Paris. James felt a pang of sadness, but masked it with a smile. "Congratulations, Emma. I'm happy for you," he said sincerely. Emma's eyes softened. "Thank you, James. You've always been such an important part of my journey." As the evening came to an end, they hugged one last time. James knew that his love for Emma had shaped him in ways he couldn't fully comprehend. It had taught him about patience, resilience, and the beauty of selfless love. James returned to Chicago with a sense of peace. He realized that his love for Emma, though unrequited, had been a profound and transformative experience. It had led him to discover new depths within himself and to appreciate the beauty of the connections he had made. He continued to teach and inspire his students, finding fulfillment in his work. He also rekindled his passion for writing, penning essays and articles about history and life. His words resonated with readers, earning him a loyal following. One sunny afternoon, James decided to visit the coffee shop where he had first met Emma. As he entered, the familiar aroma of coffee greeted him, and memories flooded his mind. He found a seat by the window and ordered his usual drink. As he sipped his coffee, he noticed a woman sitting at a nearby table, engrossed in a book. She looked up and their eyes met. "Excuse me," she said with a smile. "I couldn't help but notice you're reading the same book." James glanced at his book and then at hers, a grin spreading across his face. What are the odds? They struck up a conversation, and James learned that her name was Claire. She was a writer and a history enthusiast, and their shared interests sparked an instant connection. As they talked, James felt a sense of excitement and possibility. He realized that while his love for Emma had been a significant chapter in his life, it wasn't the end of his story. There were new experiences to be had, new connections to be made, and new love to be found. James and Claire's friendship blossomed, and they found themselves spending more time together. They attended lectures, visited museums, and explored the city, discovering a shared love for history and storytelling. Claire was different from Emma, yet there was a warmth and depth to her that drew James in. He appreciated her intelligence, her wit, and her genuine kindness. She, in turn, admired his passion for teaching and his dedication to his work. One evening, they attended a lecture on the history of Chicago. After the event, they walked along the river, the city lights reflecting on the water. "James," Claire began, her voice hesitant, "I've really enjoyed getting to know you. You have a way of making history come alive." James smiled, his heart warming at her words. "I've enjoyed spending time with you too, Claire. You have a way of seeing the world that inspires me." They stopped by the riverbank, the night air filled with the sounds of the city. Claire looked at him, her eyes filled with emotion. "James, I think I'm falling for you." James's heart skipped a beat. He had been cautious, afraid to let himself feel again after Emma. But in that moment, he realized that he had found someone who saw him for who he truly was, someone who appreciated and loved him. "I feel the same way, Claire," he replied, his voice filled with sincerity. "You've brought so much joy into my life." They embraced, the unspoken promise of a new beginning hanging in the air. James knew that his love for Emma would always be a part of him, but he also knew that he had found a new love, one that was reciprocated and filled with promise. James and Claire's relationship continued to grow, built on a foundation of trust, mutual respect, and shared passions. They supported each other's dreams, celebrated each other's successes, and faced challenges together. They traveled to historical sites, wrote articles and essays together, and hosted gatherings for friends and colleagues. Their home was filled with laughter, love, and the joy of shared experiences. One spring morning, as they walked through a park filled with blooming flowers, James turned to Claire. "Claire, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?" Claire's eyes filled with tears of happiness. "Yes, James. I can't imagine my life without you." Their wedding was a small, intimate affair, surrounded by close friends and family. As they exchanged vows, James felt a sense of completeness he had never known before. "Claire, you are my heart, my soul, and my everything. I promise to love you, support you, and cherish you for the rest of our lives," James vowed, his voice steady and filled with emotion. Claire smiled, her eyes reflecting the depth of her love. "James, you are my partner, my confidant, and my greatest love. I promise to stand by you, to love you, and to build a beautiful life with you." Their vows were a testament to their journey, a celebration of the love they had found and the life they were building together. James and Claire's love story continued to inspire those around them. They became known not only for their contributions to history and literature, but also for the love and kindness they shared with everyone they met. They mentored young students, supported local artists, and gave back to their community. Their home was always open to friends and family, a place of warmth and hospitality. As the years went by, they faced the inevitable challenges of life, but their love remained strong. They supported each other through health scares, celebrated milestones, and found joy in the simple moments. One autumn evening, as they sat on their porch, watching the leaves fall, James turned to Claire. "Our love has been an incredible journey, Claire. I am grateful for every moment we've shared." Claire smiled, her eyes filled with love. "James, you are my greatest blessing. Our love has endured, and it will continue to shine brightly for generations to come." Their legacy was not just in the books they wrote or the lectures they gave, but in the love they shared and the lives they touched. Their story was a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the beauty of finding joy in the journey. As they watched the stars twinkle in the night sky, James and Claire knew that their love was a guiding light, a beacon of hope and inspiration. It was a journey that would continue, filled with love, laughter, and the promise of forever. Years later, after James and Claire had both passed away, their story continued to be told. Their children and grandchildren carried on their legacy, sharing tales of their love and the lessons they had learned. A plaque was placed in the coffee shop where James and Emma had first met, commemorating the place where a chance encounter had sparked a journey of love and self-discovery. James's books and essays were studied by future generations, and Claire's writings continued to inspire. Their home became a museum, a testament to their love and contributions to history and literature. Visitors would often pause by the riverbank where James had proposed to Claire, reflecting on the enduring power of love and the beauty of second chances. In the end, James's love for Emma had led him to discover a deeper, more lasting love with Claire. It was a journey of unrequited love, self-discovery, and the joy of finding true companionship. Their love story was a reminder that even in the face of heartache and challenges, love had the power to heal, transform, and endure. It was a story that would continue to inspire, a legacy of love that would live on forever. James and Claire's legacy extended beyond their family and students. Their impact on the community was profound. The couple had always been deeply involved in local initiatives, from supporting historical preservation to advocating for arts and education. They started a scholarship fund for underprivileged students, enabling many young people to pursue their dreams. James's passion for history inspired him to establish a local history museum, and Claire's love for writing and art led to the creation of a community arts center. Their dedication to the community brought people together. The museum and arts center became hubs of activity, where people of all ages gathered to learn, create, and celebrate. James and Claire were often seen at these events, their presence a testament to their unwavering support. One summer, they organized a festival celebrating the rich history and diverse culture of Chicago. It featured historical reenactments, art exhibits, live music, and food from various local vendors. The festival was a massive success, drawing crowds from all over the city. At the festival's closing ceremony, James took the stage. Claire and I have always believed in the power of community. Together, we can create something beautiful, something lasting. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. Claire joined him, her smile radiant. We are so grateful for the love and support you have shown us. Let's continue to build a community that values history, art, and each other. The crowd erupted in applause, their cheers echoing the couple's sentiments. James and Claire's vision for a united and vibrant community had become a reality. While James and Claire's public contributions were widely recognized, their private acts of kindness also left a lasting impact. They were known for their generosity, often providing financial support or a listening ear to those in need. They volunteered at local shelters, offering meals and companionship to the homeless. They tutored students who struggled in school, providing guidance and encouragement. They visited nursing homes, sharing stories and brightening the days of the elderly residents. Their home was a sanctuary for friends and family facing difficult times. Many found solace in their company, knowing they would be met with understanding and compassion. One evening, a former student named Alex visited their home. He had struggled with his studies and personal challenges, but James and Claire had never given up on him. Now a successful historian, Alex wanted to thank them. "Professor Walker, Mrs. Walker, I wouldn't be where I am today without your support," Alex said, his voice filled with gratitude. "You believed in me when no one else did. Thank you." James and Claire were deeply moved. "We're so proud of you, Alex," Claire said. "Your hard work and perseverance have brought you here. Never forget that." Alex's story was just one of many. The couple's quiet acts of kindness had touched countless lives, creating ripples of positive change that would continue for generations. As the years went by, James and Claire embraced the joys and challenges of aging. They found fulfillment in their family, their community, and each other. Their love remained a constant source of strength and comfort. They celebrated milestones together, from their children's achievements to their grandchildren's births. They also faced losses, saying goodbye to dear friends and family members. Through it all, their bond grew stronger. One winter, Claire fell ill. James cared for her with unwavering devotion, just as she had cared for him in his times of need. Despite her illness, Claire remained positive, her spirit undiminished. One snowy evening, as they sat by the fire, Claire took James's hand. "We've had a wonderful life together, James. I'm grateful for every moment." James's eyes filled with tears. "I love you, Claire. You've made my life richer than I could have ever imagined." Claire smiled, her eyes shining with love. "And you've made mine complete." Claire passed away peacefully that night, surrounded by the warmth of their love. James mourned her deeply, but he found solace in the memories they had created and the life they had shared. In the months that followed, James continued their work, honoring Claire's legacy. He found comfort in the company of family and friends, cherishing the support they provided. One spring day, while visiting Claire's favorite garden, James felt a sense of peace. The flowers were in full bloom, a reminder of the beauty and resilience of life. He knew that Claire's love would always be with him, guiding him as he continued their journey. James lived many more years, dedicating himself to preserving the legacy he and Claire had built. He continued to teach, write, and inspire, his heart filled with the love they had shared. As he grew older, he often reflected on his life's journey. From the unrequited love for Emma to the profound and lasting love for Claire, his experiences had shaped him into the person he was. One summer evening, surrounded by his family, James celebrated his 90th birthday. His children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren gathered to honor him, their hearts filled with admiration and love. His eldest daughter, Emily, gave a heartfelt speech. "Dad, you've taught us the true meaning of love, resilience, and community. Your life is a testament to the power of kindness and dedication. We are so proud to be your family." James smiled, his heart overflowing with gratitude. "Thank you, Emily. I am blessed to have each and every one of you in my life. Your love and support mean everything to me." That night, as James looked around at his family, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. His life had been rich with love, purpose, and connection. He knew that Claire's spirit was with him, sharing in the joy of this moment. James passed away peacefully in his sleep a few months later. His family and community mourned his loss, but celebrated his incredible life and legacy. A memorial service was held at the coffee shop where he had first met Emma. Friends, family, students, and colleagues gathered to honor his memory. They shared stories, laughter, and tears, remembering the man who had touched so many lives. A plaque was placed in the shop, commemorating James and Claire's love and their contributions to the community. It read, "In memory of James and Claire Walker, whose love, kindness, and dedication inspired us all. Their legacy will live on in the hearts of those they touched." As the years went by, James and Claire's story continued to inspire future generations. Their children and grandchildren carried forward their values, ensuring that their legacy of love, kindness, and community endured. James's books and essays became timeless classics, studied and admired by scholars and readers alike. Claire's art continued to captivate, her paintings a testament to her talent and vision. Their home remained a place of gathering and celebration, a symbol of the love and warmth they had shared. The community they had built thrived, united by the principles of compassion and connection. James and Claire's love story was one of resilience, transformation, and enduring commitment. It was a journey that began with unrequited love and blossomed into a profound and lasting connection. Their legacy was not just in the tangible contributions they made, but in the lives they touched and the hearts they inspired. Their story was a reminder that love could heal, transform, and endure, even in the face of life's challenges. As their family and community carried forward their legacy, they knew that James and Claire's love would continue to shine brightly. It was a guiding light, a beacon of hope, and a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. In the end, James and Claire's love was a journey that would never truly end. It was a story that would live on forever, a beautiful testament to the power of love and the beauty of the human heart.